He's not here. He's not coming here. So basically, we're gonna table the Marriott. Is the Marriott still on here, or is it?
Oh,
The Marriott
from Olympus.
No, I
7:30, Mr. President.
7:30 on the East Coast.
The Greenwell Grill pending further administrative review.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it in closed session.
Okay.
Do you have the closed session resolution?
Yes, right here.
Look at that. All right. Mr. Wells? Good evening. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting was provided on December 21st, 2023, by sending written and electronic notice to the Courier News and the Breeze, posting on the website and the bulletin board in the municipal building, and filing with the township clerk. If we could have roll call, please.
Councilman Kirsch.
Here.
Councilman Cordilla.
Here.
Councilman Nogales.
Here.
Councilman Pedroso. President Ring.
Here. And if you're able, I would ask that you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilman Cordilla. All right, minutes for approval. We have the May 23rd, 2024 regular session.
I'll move them.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second them.
I'll second.
All right, Councilman Kirsch. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we also have closed session going around? Okay. Township Council reports. I'll start with Councilman Cordilla.
Okay. Today is June 6th, and I know our meeting this evening will address issues of concern for our Bridgewater community. My report this evening is a little different than reporting my activities. However, I would like to report my thoughts. Yesterday, a major fire occurred in Somerville. Multiple fire departments were called to assist with mutual aid. Our communities are served by volunteer firemen, and our numbers are dwindling. All who are moving to Somerset County communities, I ask that you consider joining your local company to protect and serve as many have done in the past. Today is also the 80th anniversary of D-Day. On this day, 156,000 Allied soldiers landed in Normandy to restore order in Europe and destroy Nazi Germany. There were over 10,000 Allied casualties with 4,400 confirmed dead. God rest the souls of those young men and women who served and sacrificed so much for the freedoms enjoyed by so many today. Along with that, today brings into my thoughts the past 20 years of attending Memorial Day and Veterans Day ceremonies with the Martinsville VFW Post 6588 at Chimney Rock Park. The post recently lost its charter due to a lack of membership. However, the recognition of the service to our country by the past members should never be forgotten. My journey with Post 6588 over the years will always be a cherished memory. Then on this Saturday, June 8th at 3 p.m., the Findhorn Fire Department will be dedicating a new heavy-duty rescue. The new unit will be replacing Rescue 30, which served our community for close to 30 years. While the rescue truck is to be appreciated, the true appreciation should be for the members who served on the rescue committee to plan the vehicle and then guide the vehicle through the bidding, purchase, and construction cycle. Needless to say, the truck cannot move by itself. The men who will train, respond, and operate the life-saving equipment on the truck for the next 30 years deserve the gratitude of our residents for accepting the challenge of providing this service. That's my report.
Thank you. Councilman Nogales.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let us give thanks for the men and women who gave their lives in the June 6, 1944 invasion of France to free the world of the scourge of Nazi oppression. Today, our armed forces stand ready to continue to protect us from all those who would seek to do us harm. God bless them all. At the invitation of Niran Chaudhry, board member of the Bridgewater Hindu Temple, I attended the Somerset and Hunterdon County Job Fair held at the temple on June 4th. Over 100 businesses from around the state had a meet and greet with prospective employees. About 150 people were lined up when the doors opened at 10 a.m. By all measures, it was a success. Attended the monthly meeting of the Bridgewater-Raritan Municipal Alliance, chaired by Lynn Hurley, with support from Dan Ahern of OCR. The 5-year plan required by the state was prepared and accepted by the county and state, ensuring that future opportunities to apply for grants to support numerous student programs. Unfortunately, the subject of drug abuse in the high school was a significant topic of discussion. I attended the spring picnic sponsored by Centerbridge Senior Housing, all as well at the 2 township-owned high-rises by the post office. Over the months, I have reported on the efforts of our Muslim community to light a crescent moon display at the township. It was delayed several times, but it is now scheduled for Saturday, June 15th at 5 p.m. at the courtyard. That is my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Pedroso. Councilman Kirsch.
Thank you. On Memorial Day, May 27th, I had the privilege to march in the Bradley Gardens parade, and that was culminated with the ceremony over in the park, where I delivered brief remarks on behalf of our community, expressing our continued appreciation to those who made the ultimate sacrifice, certainly their families, as well as all veterans. And so that was a great event, very well attended. May 28th, the zoning board met, heard the Starbucks case that continues along. I believe there's some homework that still needs to be done, and that will be coming back again, I believe, in the early August timeframe. 2 days ago, June 4th, we had a primary election, and I wanted to particularly acknowledge the efforts of our staff, because elections don't just happen magically. They happen through the diligence and hard work, of course, led by our clerk, Grace Jaguna, and her able staff, Allie Gust and Juliana Cuello. But in addition, there are others who at some point during the day and/or as part of the closing procedure also helped out. I want to acknowledge those names: Brian Sowden, Curtis Safford, Jason Lake, and Joe Mamaro, all from Public Works, along with Lauren Vitti, Patty Bueno, and Vilma Day. So by all accounts, the election went well. The election, though, isn't done, because Grace will have the responsibility of issuing certificates of election to roughly 70 individuals who were elected to office. So it certainly was not an off-year event from that standpoint. And then last night, at the risk of mixing government and political, I was at the Bridgewater-Raritan Regional High School Senior Awards ceremony, and I was able to award the Vaucher Scholarship that was sponsored by the Bridgewater Republican Municipal Committee, but is named in honor of Lieutenant Colonel Bob Vaucher. That scholarship was awarded to Adam Kurazinski, a senior at Bridgewater-Raritan Regional High School, who will be attending Rutgers University over here in New Brunswick. And I mention that because, Lieutenant Colonel Vaucher not only had a substantial lifetime impact on Bridgewater, certainly loved this community, served it very, very well, but he was certainly also a very, very proud and decorated World War II veteran. So certainly that's the connection to today being D-Day, as was mentioned before, and that's my report.
Thank you. Councilman Pedroso, your computer cooperating?
A little bit.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our council meeting. First of all, this is our time for the council to speak. We don't get to speak later in general, so I just want to congratulate Officers Ryan Struck and Arturo Gonzalez for their swearing in tonight. Here in Bridgewater Township, we're very proud of our police department. We have the finest police, I believe, in New Jersey, and I'm always, always eager to use the opportunity to thank our men and women that serve us here and keep our town safe. So thank you for joining our police department. What else? I had a brief statement I was going to read as well. In the spirit of Alan Cardilla, first of all, your words are very nice, Alan. Thank you for saying them. But I have a short statement about a different, I guess, but related topic. 1 week ago, like many of you, I heard the news that President Donald J. Trump was found guilty of 34 criminal counts in a New York court. I have followed this trial closely, examining sources from across the political spectrum. With my background as an attorney, I grasp the intricacies of our criminal justice system and recognize its crucial role in upholding our democratic society. From what I can gather, this case against President Trump seems to be driven by political motives. The facts point to a partisan and biased judge, criminal charges crafted to target a specific defendant, and jury instructions designed to ensure a guilty verdict. This trial has all the hallmarks of a corrupt process. In American history, we have witnessed countless injustices against black individuals, falsely accused and convicted by biased prosecutors, judges, and juries. Take Anthony Ray Hinton, for example, who was exonerated in 2015 after spending 30 years on Alabama's death row due to a corrupt criminal justice system. His story is one of many. The left has rightly condemned these dark moments in our history as egregious miscarriages of justice. Yet now, when the same people celebrate the persecution of a Republican presidential nominee out of personal animosity and rejoice in a biased system delivering an unjust conviction, they undermine decades of progress towards equality and justice. We must not tolerate injustice, regardless of our personal feelings about the individual. Whether black, white, or any other race, everyone deserves an impartial, fair, and just evaluation of their actions. If the criminal justice system fails, our democracy crumbles. Over the past 12 years, I have had the honor of representing Bridgewater residents in this governing body. 4 times, I have stood at this podium, raised my right hand, and sworn on the Bible to defend the Constitution. Using the criminal justice system as a tool for political persecution is an assault on our Constitution and our democracy. It is fundamentally wrong, and we have a collective duty to speak out and defend that Constitution. I continue to believe in our justice system. Like every profession, it has its bad apples. But overall, we have the best criminal system in the world. We must speak out when injustices occur, especially when our freedom and democracy are under attack. History has shown that silence in the face of injustice is not an option. No one is above the law, including President Trump. But fairness in the criminal process must be upheld for all. And criminal prosecution as a political tool can never be tolerated. Thank you.
Thank you. This past Sunday, I had the honor of representing the township. 4 of our young township residents obtained the rank of Eagle Scout, and there was a court of honor held where they received their award this past Sunday. The 4 gentlemen are Scouts in Troop 46, which is my alma mater, where I made my Eagle Scout a few years ago. But I was very honored to represent the town and present proclamations to them. And then earlier today, I participated in an emergency services meeting with our OEM department. And then lastly, just for the public's benefit, anyone was following or not following, at our last council meeting, we had some discussion around pending legislature in the state for modernization of Open Public Records Act to try to address some of the challenges in that. It is my understanding from our clerk, was that earlier today or yesterday? I can't. Yesterday, the governor did sign that into law. So that is moving forward. That's my report. I'll turn it to the mayor.
Thank you. Just a few quick items to report. First, as folks mentioned, is the 80th anniversary. Oh, hang on. It's the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and I just don't want to let that pass without also mentioning Frank DeVita, who is a Bridgewater resident who served on D-Day in the Coast Guard, and he was in the first wave at Omaha Beach, and he was a pilot on one of the PT boats, and he obviously survived and settled down with his family here. And right now, some of the folks from Blessed Sacrament Church, where he was a parishioner, have been working on a letter writing campaign and efforts to have a Coast Guard ship named after Frank DeVita. So we've been in touch with some of those folks. We've also reached out to Congressman Kane and Congressman Van Drew. Congressman Van Drew is, I think he's the vice chair of the committee which oversees, the entire, well, there's a lot of things they do, but that committee, I forget which one it is off the top of my head, but he's also, I think, on the committee the subcommittee which specifically deals with the Coast Guard. And Congressman Kane has indicated that his office will help as well. So hopefully we can honor him and his contributions to our country through that effort. I had the opportunity, before I came here this evening, of stopping in briefly at the women's self-defense class, which is being put on by the police department. It was very well attended. This was something that was a new idea or a new program this year. As everyone knows, we did the Civilian Police Academy twice. We'll do that again in the future, but this was another suggestion originating from our police department on a program to engage the community. And it's been very well received. A lot of public interest in doing another session of it, so hopefully we'll be able to do that again moving forward. But want to thank the officers who put that on and participated in that process. I think there's one more session, 3 classes in total, so they have one more on Saturday. I had the opportunity recently, I was appointed to a national organization, a Republican Mayors Association. I had the opportunity of going out to Dallas over the past couple days to meet with other Republican mayors from around the country. And we met in Dallas. The mayor of Dallas is actually a Republican, and he hosted, and it was a really interesting couple days hearing about some of the experiences of folks around the country and some of the issues that they face, which are the same that we face and some different. It was a very informative couple days. And last but not least, I just want to thank or congratulate all the folks who won their election on the primary on both the Democratic and Republican sides, and wish them all good luck in the general. That's all my report.
Thank you. Next up is swearing in of 2 new police officers.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to the swearing in of Officers Arturo Gonzalez and Ryan Struck. I'd like to thank Mayor Matthew Mensch, along with council members, for allowing the police department to swear in these 2 new members tonight. The mayor and council are strong supporters of the police department, and the mayor always likes to take part and speak at our new hire ceremonies as well as our promotion ceremonies. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to our Mayor Matthew Mensch.
Thank you, Chief. I want to just take a moment. I had a chance, very briefly, to say hello, really very briefly beforehand. But first, I want to thank the officers, or about to be officers here, for deciding to enter this profession, which is so important to every community, and a profession which is extremely noble, extremely humbling, and one that so many of us rely upon for the protection of our families. Sometimes I think I'm young, and then I look at the officers who are about to be sworn in, and I feel less young. But I have 3 kids. I have a 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And you're the gentlemen who are going to be protecting my family. When you get sworn in and you put on our uniform and you ultimately drive in our patrol cars on our streets, it's my family that you're protecting. And it's the families of the council members behind me and the 46,000 residents in our town. And that is a debt that we can never repay for the service that both of you will perform for my family and for our community. And as the chief mentioned, we pledge our commitment to you, both myself and all of our council members, our administration, to make sure that we give you the tools that you need to succeed, that you have our support, and that we do what we can to stand behind both of you and all of our men and women who serve the Bridgewater Police Department, because you're the ones protecting us and serving our community. So it's an obligation and a role that we don't take for granted. There's so many people nowadays that don't want to go into the law enforcement profession. And I am so grateful that both of you are doing that. You're coming here to serve our town, and anything that you need from our office, from this township, you will have. So, and to your families, thank you for giving them to us, lending them to us, for hopefully a long career here in Bridgewater. We look forward to them succeeding. We look forward to them thriving here and being able to have really great careers for a long time. And so thank you for the support you give them and for giving them to us. So with that, Chief, we can get on to your comments. So thank you, everybody.
All right, the first officer we're going to swear in is Arturo Gonzalez. Officer Gonzalez came to us as a fully sworn police officer. He has worked for the Kenilworth Police Department for the past 2.5 years. I'm sure his experience in Kenilworth has prepared him for his new position here in Bridgewater. A background about Arturo: he was born in Connecticut and currently resides in Morris County with his wife Danielle and daughter Tessa. Arturo served our country as a United States Marine. Arturo attended Hopatcong High School and the John H. Stamler Police Academy. He earned his Bachelor of Arts degree from New York University. During the background investigation of Arturo, we learned that Arturo is hardworking, laid back, and somebody that can be counted on. Arturo, all of these traits will assist you during your career here in Bridgewater. I welcome you to our team, and now I invite you up with your wife Danielle to be sworn in as Bridgewater Police Officer. All right, next up, Ryan Struck graduated from the Atlantic County Police Academy in May of 2024. He comes to us as a well-polished police recruit who is eager to start his working career for the Bridgewater Township Police Department. Background about Ryan: born in Hackensack and currently lives in Atlantic County. He attended West Milford High School. After high school, he attended Stockton University for a few years and transferred to William Patterson University, where he earned his Bachelor of Arts degree from criminology, criminal justice, and a minor in business. He was on the dean's list every semester while at William Patterson. While conducting Ryan's background, our detectives reached out to a lot of references of Ryan. One of the references is a retired police chief. He related that Ryan is a tremendous man with a great character. Others described him as hardworking, calm, and professional. Ryan, we are looking forward to you bringing all these great traits along with you to our police department. I now invite Ryan's parents, Wendy and Ken, up to be sworn in.
Thank you.
Can you do as well as Suzanne Wells?
What you got there? Something going on tonight, I guess? They should take one picture where everyone's a mess and send it to Suzanne.
Looks like what we
Yeah,
have right
look
here.
at having it's a mess too. Do a Suzanne impression, but it might fall flat. That's fine. You can't get them all right. What's up?
All right, just a little quick closing. Arturo and Ryan, I thank you for becoming part of the Bridgewater PD family. We will provide you with the equipment and training to have a safe and effective career. Your goals while working here are to do your best every day for the Bridgewater community and for your fellow officers, and to go home at night to your family and loved ones. Remember, you are the answers to someone's prayers. I wish you all health, success, and safety in your next 25 to 30 years of this great career. Thank you.
I say, before we move on, you're welcome to stay, but you're not obligated to.
Take us
I just, when you guys do go out, sometimes we have to keep the door open because the meeting's open to the public. So if you're hanging out in the hallway, you've got to leave the door into here open. Thank you.
It's a catch-22.
We'll just give them a minute to. We do not have any presentations this evening. Next is the meeting open to the public. We'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to open to the public.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. The meeting is open to the public. Members of the public wishing to address the council on any matter will be allowed 2 minutes to speak unless there are unusual circumstances. If anyone would like to speak, please come forward. It's okay. You just need to provide your name and address. If you don't want to publicly state your address, I believe there's a sign-in sheet there. You just write it on there.
Yeah, my name is Carol Joy. I'm a resident of Bridgewater. I live at 1402 Payne Court. And I'm only speaking because of a statement that was made earlier, which does not reflect my beliefs. And since there was no rebuttal or any other comment to that, I just would like you to know I am a legal professional as well. And I believe that Judge Mershon ran a very, very fair trial. I think former President Trump was convicted by 12 of his peers. And I think that it was inappropriate for that statement to be made today, at this time, without a proper rebuttal. And that's why I'm making the statement today. And we shall all reconvene on July 11th and see what happens next. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh,
Seeing no one else, oh, there is someone.
hold on.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Dan Zielinski. I share the previous person's sentiments about statements that seemed very inappropriate to me in this forum, but that's not the reason that I'm here tonight. And I also want to thank Mayor Mensch, who, in summing up the election results, has congratulated both Republicans and Democrats. I think, more than anything else, Mr. Pedroso, I think what we need now is equal representation on both sides. But once again, I don't want to divert into that, but I do appreciate your comments. I'm here for two reasons. The first being that I did attend the Citizens Police Academy, and it was an excellent program. I'm not quite sure. I believe the reason that the most recent one was canceled was due to poor attendance. But what a fantastic program. And part of that program that I took away, not only in getting to know the fine officers that are really protecting our community, was some of the things that happen that I think most residents don't know. And most recently, I think what's coming to light is these auto thefts. And the fact that the reason that most of those take place is because people just don't lock their cars. But there were a multitude of other public safety things that I discovered in talking with the officers, like, how to protect your home. The fact that most burglars, as an example, if they can't get a window on the first floor open, most people don't lock the windows on the second floor. And the reason that I'm here is, and I think more and more people are becoming aware, lock your car in your driveway. But there's many other things that I think the police can bring to the table, and if you folks can do a good job of communicating that stuff to the residents, that it's really, it's not the police that are going to keep us protected, it's ourselves. So I don't want to go into all the detail on that, but that was a really valuable experience for me, and I know it's going to come back, and I hope that attendance to that is really, to the extent that you need attendance to be. So the other reason that I'm coming is I was a challenger in the past election, and while I didn't go to every polling location, 3 of the locations that I visited did not have any signs to point out that this is where someone would go to vote. So, I can't remember who was congratulating, who sets up like the voting procedures, but I have a feeling that perhaps you guys weren't aware of that. And once again, I did not visit every polling location, but I will tell you that the location in Bradley Gardens had no sign, and there were 2 locations in the Findern section, at Adamsville School and at the Rescue Squad, that had no signs to point out this is where you vote. And that is, that's a disservice to whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat. So I do hope that you guys can address that issue moving forward, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Dan, did you write your address on the sheet? Or you can say it if you don't, just.
Well, I think, Tim, you know where I live.
I do, but not. It has to be for the public record.
I don't see a sheet here other than the minutes. But what would you like? You want me to tell it to you? It's 715 Chimney Rock Road.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I apologize. It was my understanding there was a sheet there, so. Any other member of the public wishing to speak?
Seeing no motion, move to close public input.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Mr. President, can I just make a clarification only on the issue of Election Day and election preparations and election operations? Essentially, each of our, I believe it's 12 voting locations for our 36 districts, those spaces are temporarily leased to the Board of Elections. Somerset County Board of Elections is responsible for bringing in the machines, staffing the locations, and really all of the operations associated with the election. My comments, wherein I complimented our clerk, Grace, and others, was associated with largely the collection of the results of said election, because Grace Jaguna, in her role as our municipal clerk, is also our chief election officer. So my comments were exclusively focused on election results gathering, but certainly the feedback that there was any gap in any of the polling locations is something that we've certainly all heard, and we can certainly follow up with the Board of Elections to make sure that does not occur again.
Okay, I think that it should be noted.
Excuse me, sorry, we're closed to the public.
No rebuttal.
I'm still going to speak. Because I
Sir,
went to
Sir,
Steve Peters at the Somerset County.
sir, we are closed to the public. You're not allowed to speak.
This
I
is
apologize, but
outrageous that I couldn't have this dialogue with you, and I did everything on that day that I could to
sir,
rectify that
sir,
situation.
you're not allowed to speak. If you'd like to follow up, we will gladly follow up afterward.
I just did.
Okay, well, thank you.
Suffice it to say, we've all heard the input, and we'll make appropriate follow-up with the Board of Elections.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Next up, item 10, public hearing and final action ordinance, an ordinance amending Chapter 175 sewers and sewer disposal, implementing revised sewer fees and payment schedule. Mr. Pappas or the mayor, anything to?
Nothing further. We talked about this.
Okay. That being so, I will entertain a motion to open a public hearing on item 10A.
I'll make the motion to hold the public hearing to discuss ordinance 10A.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Anyone wishing to speak on item 10A, the amendment to the sewer ordinance, is welcome to come forward at this time.
Seeing nobody wishing to speak on this item, I move to close public input and move to final action to adopt ordinance 10A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call. Sorry? Okay. Well, we have to close public hearing.
I think Councilman, he's going to close public hearing, then I think you can speak if you
All right, well, you want me to bifurcate the?
Yes.
All right, then I'll simply make a motion to close public input.
Second.
Do we have a motion to, I'm sorry, do we have a second?
We need a second to close public hearing.
Second the closing of the public meeting.
Okay. Roll call. Actually, I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Now, we can have a discussion.
Thank you for that. Just very, very briefly, thank you, Mr. Pappas, for providing me certain information. I appreciate documentation you provided me. I did receive a summation of the sewer budget, and I also have some numbers from 2023 and some partial numbers for 24. I still, I still don't have the detailed itemized budget for 2024, and it's just very difficult for me to be able to assess what the proper sewer fee should be without really analyzing the budget. And so I'm going to vote no.
Mr. President, brief comment. I think this is a sound budget and a continued step forward with managing our sewer utility, a critical part of our infrastructure, an unseen part of our infrastructure. It reflects, this budget reflects that we have had an increase from the Somerset Valley, the SRVSA, Somerset Raritan Valley Sewerage Authority. We run that utility lean. We run that utility as cost effectively as possible, and this increase, represents the higher cost of doing business and is 5% over a 2.5-year period. I'd certainly challenge anybody to find anything else that they can pay simply 2.5% more for, 5% more over that 2.5-year period, because that commodity likely does not exist. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Anyone like to make a motion on?
I'll make a motion to, for a final action to approve 10A.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso?
Oh.
President Ring?
Yes. Okay. 11A is an ordinance amending Chapter 76, disorderly conduct, to include enforcement mechanisms for improper entries onto real property. I know we had a presentation at our last meeting. Anything further on this from the administration?
This is simply another effort to combat the issue of car thefts and home break-ins and things like that we all know has become a broader issue over the past few years in many communities, including ours. So it's another tool in the toolbox to make sure that our police have the ability to prosecute and issue and take action on our own. It gives us more ability to address those issues.
If I may, some police departments, in addition to locking your cars in the driveway or in the street, also suggest that you lock your car in your garage as an additional method of trying to prevent it from being stolen. With that,
Okay.
I'll brief comment. I want to thank Mayor Mensch for taking stepping up and taking a leadership role on this. This really should be coming from the state. The state should be leading this and taking action and providing laws that protect our citizens. But there's a void there, and that's why I'm pleased that Mayor Mensch has gone ahead and stepped up and done this. So I fully support it, and I'll move it.
If I can make also just a brief comment.
We have a motion. We have a second? Okay.
All right. Arguably, whether it's the state, maybe it's the county, could have or should have taken some sort of leadership role on this issue. I haven't seen it at those levels. Fortunately, we have seen it among the various communities, including mayors and police chiefs. What draws many people to Bridgewater is convenience, being able to live in beautiful neighborhoods that still have good access to local and interstate highways. Unfortunately, that also gives same or similar access to car thieves. And I think that this action that we'll take tonight and then follow up in a couple of weeks is, as was noted, additional tools in the tool belt to keep our residents safe. Of course, continued diligence is always a key, and then these additional tools will help law enforcement. Thank you.
I'll move the introduction of 11A.
It's already been done.
Okay, Ben.
Any other comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso?
Yes.
President Ring?
Yes, if we could set the public hearing, please.
Yep. Final action is scheduled for June 27th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. here in the municipal courtroom. Public inspection of this ordinance is available on the township website, bulletin board, and in the clerk's office.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. Council President, I'm just going to bid adieu for the evening. I have to run out for a meeting, so
Thank you.
you guys are. I don't have any other input on the items that are on here, so
Thank you.
I will say everybody good night.
Okay. 12A is a resolution providing for emergency temporary appropriations for a current fund in the amount of $2,897,846.17 and a grant fund in the amount of $564,270 for Foxcroft Spring Valley Improvement Project NJDOT grant. Pretty straightforward, I think. The DOT one is, in order to spend it, we have to put it in the budget before we can actually spend the grant.
Correct.
Okay? Any other?
This is
Move 12A.
I'll second it.
Okay, any other comments?
What's the money used for?
Budget, which?
Well, the resolution 12A.
Our temporary budget. And to spend grant money to improve Foxcroft Spring Valley Road improvement. So, all right, if there's no other comments, we'll take a roll call.
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso?
No.
President Ring?
Yes. All right. 12B, authorizing Bridgewater tax collector Darrow Murdoch to conduct a 2024 electronic tax sale. Annual process.
I'll move it.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Yes.
Roll call.
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso?
No. Oh, I'm
President,
sorry. Yes.
President Ring?
Yes. 12C is authorizing a change form order number 1, final change order increasing the contract price from $166,000 to $171,600, an increase of 3.37%, or $5,600, authorizing acceptance of the project and final payment to TC Landscape Construction Group Incorporated, trading as Twin Cedars, 729 Marie Street, Toms River, New Jersey, 08753, for the Kid Street Playground Repairs Project, the local recreation improvement grant, and open space trust. Anyone?
I'll move it.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso?
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. All right. 12D is a request for a waiver reimbursement of special event permit fees in the total amount of $100 for the Hamilton School, PTO located 9 Hamilton Lane, Bridgewater, New Jersey, in conjunction with an outdoor school fair in the parking lot on June 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. We do have a copy of their tax exempt status.
Move 12D.
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso?
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. All right. 12E is approving a right-of-way between the Township of Bridgewater and New York SMSA Limited Partnership, DBA Verizon Wireless, for use and installation of a utility pole located in the public right-of-way nearest to 587 Garrettson Road. Some of you may recall last year we had a special meeting where Verizon came in looking to install 2 of these poles. One was right outside Hanlon Drive here by the turf field. The other one was going to be basically on the front lawn of the high school. Had a lot of discussion with the sidewalk there and the public right-of-way and if there was space, and Verizon was thoroughly convinced that they could do it. They have come to find out they can't do it. So the agreement we're being asked to approve is the exact same agreement we previously approved. The only thing we're doing is moving the location from the public right-of-way in the front of the high school to the northwest corner of Voorhees and Garrettson, which is the corner, it would be the public right-of-way of, if you're looking at the property, it's the tennis courts, the county tennis courts. Everything else, I am assured by council, is exactly the same. So. Did I summarize that correctly, Mr. Corsini? You did. Thank you.
Really good.
Was there any effort to, for them to come in and bring in an RF engineer or expert?
When we were asked about this, this was moving a location of an approval that the council had already granted. It was just moving it across the road. So we didn't think that was necessary.
And this is also just as a reminder, this is one of these ones where if we don't approve it, they go to the Board of Public Utilities, who overrides us. Right. And I think we had a pretty lengthy discussion and negotiation with them last year.
I mean, they still have an obligation.
Sorry,
They still
Councilman
have an
Pedroso was speaking.
I mean, from being on the zoning board for 10 years, whenever these things came before us, they still had an obligation to prove that they had a need for it, and it wasn't just approved blankly. They had to at least provide evidence that there was a coverage gap and there was a need. And then obviously, you know, I understand the law is heavily on their side if they can meet their limited obligations, but they had some limited obligations to satisfy, and that's all I was asking for them to do here.
Sorry, Councilman Nogales, were you going to say something?
I move 12E.
We have a motion for 12E.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments? Roll call?
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso?
No.
President Ring.
Yes. All right. We are going to, we're going to move into item 13, liquor license renewals consent agenda. Before I do, I would just like to announce that 13F and 13G have been pulled for further administrative review. With that, I am going to step back and ask Council Vice President Nogales to handle 13A to avoid any potential conflict, since I am a member of the Elks.
13A reads as follows, 2024-2025, renewal of the Township of Bridgewater club license, liquor license for the following: Fraternal Order of Eagles, Somerset Area number 2137. Somerville Lodge of Elks, post number 1068. Raritan Valley Country Club, and the Gerald Abrigo Post number 327, American Legion. Any comments on 13A, either from the clerk, who handles all the administration on this, or from Mr. Pappas? Anything? If not, could we have a motion, please, on 13A?
I'll make that motion.
Second, please.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Kirsch?
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla?
Yes.
Councilman Nogales?
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, unless there are any other items on here that are a concern for anyone or anything that would, the clerk would suggest that would prevent us from doing all of these as a consent, I'm going to move forward with consent on these. All right. So 13A is done. 13B is the 2024-2025 renewal of plenary retail consumption liquor license establishments within Bridgewater Township. There's about 25 of those on the resolution itself. 13C, 2024-2025 renewal of Township of Bridgewater plenary retail distribution liquor licenses for the following: Squires Corners Liquors, Inc., trading as Spirits of the Valley; Krisha Beverage, Inc., trading as Bridgewater Wine and Spirits; Wegmans Food Market, Inc., Ramaran, Inc., trading as Best Buy Wine and Liquors; and Bridgewater Wines, LLC, trading as Liquor Cave. 13D, is that correct? 2023, 2024? 2024 to 2025, renewal of plenary retail consumption liquor license with hotel motel exception for Bridgewater Hotel LLC, trading as Hilton Garden Inn; FSG Bridgewater Hotel LLC, trading as Hampton Inn and Suites; and Briad Lodging Group LLC, trading as the AC Marriott Bridgewater. 13E is the 2024-2025 renewal of plenary retail consumption liquor license 1806-33-027-006, Cafe Amelia, Inc., with special condition. 13H is renewal of retail consumption inactive liquor license number 1806-33-019-004 for A Pearl, Inc. for the 2025 licensing term per administrative order granting blanket 12.39 relief to inactive municipally issued Class C retail licenses. 13I is renewal of plenary retail consumption inactive liquor license for number 1806-32-003-006 for Solo Bridgewater LLC for the 2024-2025 licensing term per administrative order granting blanket 12-39 relief to inactive municipally issued Class C retail licenses. 13J is a renewal of a retail consumption inactive liquor license number 1806-33-017-007 for Chimney Rock LQR LLC for the 2024-2025 licensing term per administrative order granting blanket 12.39 relief to inactive municipally issued Class C licenses. 13K is a little bit different. This is a resolution retiring plenary retail consumption license number 1806-36-037-005 with hotel motel exception for GCP Bridgewater Management LLC, DBA Hyatt House, located at 530 Route 22 East, Bridgewater, New Jersey, 08807. I will entertain any comments. With that, I will 13K, this was a requirement from the state. They had a hotel motel license, the Hyatt House, who's stopped operating as a hotel. So administratively, they required us to cancel the license. Okay.
Move consent on all of the aforementioned.
So that's a consent on, just so we're clear for the record, 13B, C, B through E, and H through K. Is that okay? We have a motion?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso,
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. We don't expect any. Okay. So we do have a closed session tonight. Be it resolved, the Bridgewater Township Council, that this body will now hold a closed meeting to discuss contract negotiations and litigations. Contract negotiations and litigation. Contract negotiations for acquisition of property and animal shelter. One, and if the matters discussed become public record, this will be named to the public at that time. The public is excluded from said meeting, and further notice therefore is dispensed to all in accordance with Section 8 and 4A of the Open Public Meetings Act. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kirsch,
Yes.
Councilman Cordilla,
Yes.
Councilman Nogales,
Yes.
Councilman Pedroso,
Yes.
President Ring.
Yes. Have a good night, Roman.
Not bad. Your streak continues. Of efficiency, which I like.
All right. We have completed our closed session. I'll take a motion to resume public session.
I'll make the motion to continue in open session.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I don't believe we have any further business, so I will,
Make a motion to adjourn this august body.
we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Grace,
Good night, sir.
gonna